Hello there sexy PlayStation gamers, and welcome back to another Pure PlayStation video preview on Pure Play TV, and today we've got Iron Harvest. I went into Iron Harvest expecting one thing, and I've come out the other end of this early access preview wrong in my assumptions, but happy about it nonetheless. Iron Harvest is an alternate take on history, but it still pays tribute to the early 20th century wars. In this version of the world, mechs are a thing, and countries don't have their proper names yet. Poland is Polonia, Germany is Saxony, and so on. But yeah, it's the mechs that are the biggest change to history, and a change we were very lucky not to have to live through. I've played a few hours of the open beta that is available to everyone, but I've also had a go of the media-only Saxony campaign, and it's the latter that has really sold me on Iron Harvest. Iron Harvest is an RTS game, real-time strategy, and I was expecting something along the lines of Age of Empires or Command & Conquer, my two favourite RTS games of all time. It's not like either of them, which at first disappointed me if I'm being honest. See, I wanted to amass an army of mechs that numbered in the hundreds, but that's just not possible in Iron Harvest. Instead, you create small squads of individual units, so buying a grenadier in the barracks means one purchase is for a handful of men. It's a bit different and it's not entirely what I'm used to. I got used to it eventually and I came to appreciate the balance the game tries to keep. Also, unlike Age of Empires and Command & Conquer, you don't have to mine resources, and there are only two anyway, iron and oil. Instead of having harvesters or workers collecting iron and oil, you need to capture points on the map to take control of the iron refineries and the oil pump stations. It adds another layer to the gameplay, because if you're not careful and you leave your precious resources unguarded, there's nothing to stop the enemy from coming in and taking it back, capture the flag style. The opening started slow with an introductory mission to get me used to the game's UI and controls, all of which was simple enough for me to understand. I did play on PC though, and such games are almost always easier played with a mouse and keyboard. So I'm left wondering how the controls and the UI will be adapted for the eventual PS4 release, and if there will be support for mouse and keyboard on consoles. I'm hoping for the best. Iron Harvest has 3 campaigns, and I started off with the Polonia campaign, which introduces us to the Polonians. Duh! The people of Polonia are poor buggers, and they're getting shafted in this war, but they make do and knuckle on against the odds, and against the technical might of the Saxony army. Polonia has its own technology-driven war machines, as well as an actual bear medic. Yes, a bear medic. But it doesn't compare to the Saxony army's hulking war machines. Naturally, that famous German engineering has been put to use, and Saxony has the best war tech around, including a massive AT-AT style hero machine, the Brunhilde. There is a balance though. While Saxony has the best in mechanical warfare, its ground troops aren't as effective. Polonia has mechs, but they're generally lighter, more nimble, and not as powerful, and they really aren't able to hold their own against the Saxony war machines, at least not alone. But, on the other hand, their soldiers are hardy, and when used right, they can be a deadly force, easily outmatching the Saxony soldiers. It's a balance we've seen elsewhere in other games and genres, but it still makes sense, and again, it's mirroring real life through its warped mirror. Instead of having you build a massive army and simply number slam the opposition, Iron Harvest forces you to make each unit as effective as possible. Squads aren't made in a matter of a few seconds, so losing a unit can put a real dent in any ongoing offensive you're engaged in or a defence that you're trying to keep together. You can make some units, like ground soldiers, and put them into cover to make them harder to hit. If you leave them out in the open and play Iron Harvest like Age of Empires, you'll have soldiers dropping like flies. You really do need to play smart. It's not enough to throw sheer numbers at the enemy. You have to use each unit to its strengths, find flanking routes to surround stronger foes, have enough resources on standby to keep the number of soldiers up, and to make sure that your precious resources are safe from enemy hands. There's a lot going on, but it's all condensed nicely, with one piece of gameplay feeding into the next, and it keeps the action going without bringing in massive slowdowns. Iron Harvest is also telling a story, but like with most game previews, I didn't get too invested. Or at least I tried not to. In my experience, RTS games don't tell the most interesting tales, and I'm generally playing them for the gameplay. But I did find myself sitting through the cutscenes to get a bit more exposition, and I'm actually looking forward to the full release to find out where the story goes. As far as RTS games go, Iron Harvest is definitely one of the better ones I've played, even if it's not what I'd normally go for. And that brings us to the end of this video preview. I hope you're still here. If you are, well done. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down below, as well as the little bell notification, so you get a little ding whenever we've got something new for you to watch. Until next time, stay sexy, wash your hands, keep playing games. Bye!